And I'm more concerned, right? I'm more concerned by the way that people think, but more beyond Trump. Trump can only give us 4 years.
That's it.
Even if he wins, he can only give us 4 years. Then what? We'll be in the same mess in 4 years. We need a change of heart in this country. The problem isn't the presidents. We, the people, we put these people in office. The problem is the people are weak.
Yeah.
We've become emotionally weak in this country. We've become dependent, childish, immature. And what's happening is our government is reflecting that to us.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. Before we get started, I want to say this before we get started. There's two fake channels out that someone has copied, okay? There's one on YouTube, there's one on Instagram. Now the one on YouTube I think has been taken down. The one on Instagram I think is still up. I'm not positive on that. Anyways, I just wanted to say that if anyone solicits you for money or anything like that, please know that my sister and I do not ask for money from you guys. We don't have a PayPal. What was the other one you guys were talking about? The Cash App. We don't have a P.O. box where you can send us gifts and stuff like that. And we do not have merch. We're a really basic channel over here, okay? So my understanding is that people solicit you for money, and it's not us doing that. We put out a video a week. You can subscribe or not subscribe. It's really casual over here, okay? So we do not ask for money from you guys. In the event we do ever want to monetize our videos in a different way at some point, we will obviously let you guys know vocally, and we also have links in the description box and all that stuff. But as of right now, it really is just a discussion about topics we're passionate about, and that's really it. So we just want to let you guys know that Trump. The Trump seems to be the big question that you guys are asking us about, or big conversation. So we're aware that he's been found guilty on, I guess would be now felony counts. That's a whole issue there. And how do we feel about that? So obviously I think that I think that was the wrong verdict, clearly. You guys, my thoughts are that I don't believe that this was a case about Stormy Daniels. I don't think this is about Michael Cohen. I don't think this is about hush money. I think that this was a trial to try to pin Trump on some things because of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
This was a completely politically based case.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this, only that, Trump, he's being persecuted for running for president.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
Some of you guys liked what Tulsi Gabbard had to say, or you want us to hear what she had to say?
If you turn on the news right now, you're going to see almost nothing but people talking about what happened in that New York courtroom today with Donald Trump. I think it's important that we take a step back and really look at what are the very serious consequences that have come from this, that extend far beyond this specific case, these charges, this verdict, and even Donald Trump. What we are seeing here should be a wake-up call to every American, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless about how you feel about President Trump or President Biden. What has happened is President Biden has turned our country into a banana republic, a country where those in power are using the law, the rule of law, and our justice system and law enforcement to persecute their political opponents. Now, this isn't something that is only happening to Donald Trump. The consequences of this apply to every one of us, because as we see this new norm and new precedent being set, how can we as Americans feel safe and feel emboldened in challenging political authorities in our own country when we know that they can use the power of law enforcement to go after us, to go after their political opponents, to go after people who have the courage and the audacity to challenge their authority? That is what is at stake here. The foundation for the success of our democratic republic is that we as Americans, we the people, have faith and trust in the rule of law. We must have this confidence that we will all be treated fairly under the law, regardless of our political affiliation or views, regardless of our race or religion, regardless of anything, any of these other affiliations or circumstances, that we will all be treated equally. That foundation of our democracy has been destroyed by the Biden-Harris administration. Make no mistake about how serious this is to you and me and to the future of our ability to live in a free society. They have done this through their personal political persecution of Donald Trump. If we allow this to stand, it'll forever be destroyed, and our country will be finished if it's not reversed, and reversed quickly. So how do we do that? The only way is if every one of us as Americans, regardless of whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or a libertarian, when every one of us as Americans makes that decision that there is nothing more important than freedom, there is nothing more important than protecting our democratic republic, than defending our Constitution, than upholding the rule of law and saving our country. We must hold those accountable. We must hold President Biden and his administration accountable by punishing them and other politicians who dare to put their own desire for power in a higher place of importance than our freedom, our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our rule of law, our democratic republic. It's not too late. November 5th is a critical election where we have the opportunity to hold these people to account by voting them out of office on November 5th and voting for Donald Trump.
Yeah, she's right. So the funny thing, the irony of, I guess, the Democratic Party is that their name is not being very democratic. Right, yeah, so they're using this as a political tool here against him.
Because like I was saying, when we did the Ronald Reagan video,
right,
that there are countries where you're not allowed to speak against your own leaders.
Yeah.
In America, we can do that.
That's true.
But what they're doing with Donald Trump is what they can do to anybody, is that if you, like us, if we speak against
what we're doing
our
right now,
president,
yeah,
you know what I mean, they could start putting legalists on you. You know what I mean? And so with what's happening with him, no one still really knows why he's charged.
That's another part of it. Is that this is not even a real case?
Like I said, this is only happening to him because he ran for president. This is not. He's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
He just ran for president,
and the fear of him winning, which is likely, possible, very possible.
I mean, it's backfiring.
Yeah,
I mean, he raised like
$54 million
in 24 hours, which is the highest ever.
Right after the verdict. So. They're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep indicting him now. They've convicted him, right? So this is going to be a thing, and they're just trying to get him, I assume, in jail. Is that what the goal? Obviously, that's what it is. And I don't know. I don't know. This is not very, like she said, it's like a banana republic.
I've always been kind of a conservative person. I think for me, I've always fought against that.
Yeah.
Because I'm black and because of my generation and because I felt like traditional.
Yeah.
When you're young, you think traditional's boring.
Yeah.
And people don't find that interesting, and therefore you're not interesting. So liberalism was freedom, and you feel like, well, you kind of have to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But I just did that. I never actually looked into the Democratic Party.
The platform.
No.
Yeah.
Not like I did. I mean, when I decided to take a look at a different party, then I actually compared the two, and I was like, oh, what was I voting for this whole time?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, these people are not at all what, you know what I mean? And only because I started to see things I just don't agree with. But I feel like this is the Democratic Party. This is what all of those people from the 60s are now in the system.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Yuri Benikov, he said those people are contaminated. They are here. You're stuck with them. The Bernie Sanders, the Cornel West, these people, Hillary Clinton, these people, all those people from the 60s are now running the institutions.
Right.
And it was a slow process of Marxism. All these people that even now we're finding out a lot about Martin Luther King, and people are starting to talk more about that, which is good, because I think everybody needs to be re-examined. You know what I mean?
I think the whole civil rights
thing
movement needs to be re-examined.
And black people are being used to me, and minorities. are being used. That's why we have all this, when you start thinking of things like the song Imagine, and you really look at those words, that's horrible.
Oh.
That John Lennon song, it's really horrible, but I used to like that song, but I wasn't really thinking. That's what I'm saying. When you're a liberal, you don't think. You're kind of in a trance.
He's like, it's like, if you listen to that song, it's like lawless, godless.
Yeah.
Kind of like run amok, do what you want.
Even though we are the world, it's like we are the world, we are this. It's like everything is there's this need to do this kumbaya, utopia world, and it's globalism, essentially. And they've been trying to do this for a really long time. And here comes someone like we were watching Ronald Reagan talking about Barry Goldwater, and I said that this is why they made him a racist, because he was going to shut down Marxism, and the far left knew that. Yeah. And they turned him into this raging racist. Yeah. When you look it up, he's really not. He's not. He's at all. You know what I mean? And so this is what's happening with Donald Trump. Yeah. He's changing something, and they are trying to get rid of him and make him not likable. To turn him into a Hitler. And I don't understand why they're still trying to call him that when he's already been our president. We already saw what he did, which was much better than what we currently have.
Which is why a lot of people are probably going to go ahead and vote for him, because at least we have the privilege of seeing what a former president already did, and he can run for a second term. So we already know what he can do, which is good, right? I didn't agree with all of Trump's policies, but I agree with most of them. I agree with pretty much all of them. Yeah, pretty much all of them. I think the handling of COVID could have been different, that type of thing. But even with that, like he was saying, get back to work earlier on. I think he was poorly advised, but that's just my opinion on that. But as a whole, we see what he's done. Everyone's life was better when he was president. Now we're just seeing a ridiculous spike in everything. People can't even go to the grocery store.
But with all of this happening, it is reminding us that these people work for us, not the other way around.
Right. But
somehow we have become slaves to them. They get in these offices and they just do whatever they want, and we keep voting these people in because we are also unconscious. Yeah. We're just blue no matter who, red. We're not really vetting these people.
Yeah, right. Researching.
Like AOC should not be in office anymore. No. Why is she still there?
Right.
Why is she still relevant? Why is Hillary Clinton still talking? You know what I mean? Like you ever look at people like that and you think, why am I still hearing some of these people with voices? Yeah. Why but more importantly, not them, but more importantly, why are they still relevant to anyone?
Right.
And then you wonder why we have the government we have. If Donald Trump doesn't win the presidency, we deserve this.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like if anybody votes for Joe Biden again, then then it is it. I honestly believe that this country, it's kind of it. I hate to say that, but because I do believe that God is the ultimate ruler. Yeah. But politically speaking,
for our
country, 4 more years of Joe Biden is not. Well, it's not good,
right?
People.
And people are wondering why a lot of people. I'm not just talking about black people. I mean, just people in general have moved over to the right, and the reason why is because of a Joe Biden. It's not. Yeah. It would make no sense for you to vote that way, but if you do, then we do get. Then whatever's to come, it would be deserving.
Unless you're just in love with globalism.
Yeah, which is what
your freedom's being taken away, and you just like paying high taxes, and you just like not you like all these people running through our borders. You like gas that's too high. You like this.
Right.
You like your streets being riddled with criminals and nobody goes to jail anymore. I mean,
it's pretty amazing to see what's happening right now.
Look at our schools. I mean, we're 4 more years of Biden and Harris.
It's incredible to even think of.
It's just disgusting to even think about.
Yeah.
And at this point, his ratings are so high that I think if he doesn't win, then they literally just cheated. I think they did last time. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. But I think Trump won. That's just my opinion. But
yeah. But if his ratings are
just too high right now, and to me, at this point, if anybody's actually going to vote because you think that Donald Trump is actually a Hitler,
it's you
really believe that?
And I don't think people do. I think they're just following the narrative, like what the CNN and all those people are saying. Somebody wrote us. I think his name was Lawrence. I have part of his email, but I talked to him a couple of back and forths. He's from New York, and he was very happy that Trump got convicted, right? And he sent us some videos of Trump, and he didn't understand why we like Trump or would be for him. You know, I think also sometimes people get emotional with this stuff. I'm thinking more about the policies and not about the personality. And I think what happens with a lot of people is they look at the personality and not the policy. Sims Lawrence, he said, I don't know if you two have seen these clips with Donald Trump once again being racist towards black people. You two are on the wrong side of the fence. The wrong side of the fence supporting a man like that. As an African American man myself, it saddens me to see two black queens.
Don't call me a queen. I can't stand that.
The two black queens talk like you do. Okay, so there's a couple of discrepancies here. First of all, you're a New Yorker in America, so you're black. African Americans is not a thing. And number two, you're not really sad. It saddens you. You're not really sad about that because you don't know us. And then number three, black queens. I'm not a queen.
I mean, first of all, you're black, so I know you're emotional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you take everything with emotions. 100%.
100%.
And if you feel like he's being racist, have you actually seen what Joe Biden has said?
Yeah,
in the
right.
past? It saddens me.
Yeah.
That you are okay with a man that said he didn't want his kids to go to school in a racial jungle.
In a racial jungle.
A man who lied about when he was in Africa, he helped people get away from apartheid, and he's lied. He's plagiarized so many. You know what I mean? Joe
Part
Biden,
of the civil rights movement wasn't.
Joe Biden has done so many racist things.
And you're telling me that Donald Trump's racist, but he sent us the clip. Okay, so this is the clip he sent us is from the 2016 race. Okay, okay.
No group in America has been more harmed by Hillary Clinton's policies than African Americans. No group. No group. If Hillary Clinton's goal was to inflict pain on the African American community, she could not have done a better job. It's a disgrace. Tonight, I'm asking for the vote of every single African American citizen in this country who wants to see a better future. Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following: what do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose? I say it again, what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty, your schools are no good, you have no jobs, 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose? America must reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, who sees communities of color only as votes, not as human beings worthy of a better future.
So he's right. Look, you guys.
When was he racist?
When was he racist and when was he wrong? Because he
dared to tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean,
it's true.
The only thing I didn't like about that whole thing is he kept saying African American.
I'm not African.
But I'm not African. But I'm sure he was advised to say African American instead of black. I don't know, whatever. But it doesn't matter. Again, that's the only thing I have a problem with what he's saying. But you guys can't be mad. Look, people that are against Trump, you cannot be mad at the messenger.
And by the way, he's right.
When he's saying stuff that is correct.
90% clip, black people are voting for a party that they have been voting for the last 70, 80 years.
That according to them
has not done anything for the black community. I mean, Joe Biden actually told Charlemagne the God, if you don't know who to choose between me or Trump, then you ain't black. They think they own you. And that is what Trump is trying to say. And what he's saying is true. Everything. Those statistics are true.
They're facts.
What, because he said the truth?
That's what I'm saying. People are mad at the messenger and not paying attention to the actual message. What he's saying is accurate. You can't be mad at him because he's a white man saying it. You can't. All of those, everything he just mentioned, education, the poverty rates, unemployment rates, and nothing he said was false. If he came out here spewing lies about the African American community, then
the black community single mother rate is high. Our schools are bad. Our incarceration rate is high. Our abortion rates are high. You know, I don't know what you don't like about it. That's the truth. If you want to live in delusion, then keep voting Democrat.
Right.
But if you want something new, then you're going to have to accept something new.
Right.
A different point of view, a different perspective.
And and so I'm not saying go into things blindly either. What I'm saying is you need to research. You have to research the party that you're interested in. If you are not someone who wants to participate in the political process, i.e. voting, then this need not apply. Okay? Then you move on and do whatever you're doing. But people who want to vote and people who are voters that are voting in some voting with a party that is against your own issues, why would you do that?
But when you vote with your skin color,
this is what happens.
This is what you vote for. When you let people like Al Sharpton, when you let people like Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, all of them, all the heavyweights, when you let them just continuously, and then they keep filtering with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Fred Hampton and Stokely Carmichael and Angela Davis, and they just keep trying to bait you in emotionally. Into your skin was what they're doing. And all he's saying is, look at the facts. You guys haven't moved an inch. And he's right. But what bothers me the most is not even what Trump did, because he did do some things to help HSBCUs.
Yeah, he
did
all
those
that.
things.
Yeah.
What bothers me is that this man sent us a tape, trying to show us that he's racist when there was nothing racist on the tape. And what that proves is black people don't like the truth.
Yeah.
It's not that what he's saying is racist. He's literally telling you the truth, and you just don't like it.
Yeah.
We don't like what our statistics look like, and we hate it that everybody knows about it. We want to pretend like we're kings and we're queens, and we're like these gods, and there's nothing wrong with us, and there is something wrong with us.
Look, when we bring up these topics, which is frequently, right? And we're not doing it just because we're just to be doing it. We're doing it because we're trying to say, look, how can we fix this problem? It's a problem. It needs to be talked about. Okay? Things get fixed, not in silence. Things get fixed when you talk about them. Everything begins with a conversation.
Why do you think that the Democratic Party doesn't ever tell you about your problems? It's because they don't want you aware of them. So you can continue to do them. But then when someone tells you what's going on, it's to help you realize this is where we are and we need to move away from it. But because you don't like the way it makes you feel, the statistics make you feel bad about yourself or about our people, that you just reject it. And the more you don't look at something and you keep trying to pretend like it's not there, the more of it you get.
Yeah.
We have a problem in our community, and Trump was just trying to give us a different option because the Democratic Party sucks.
And what they do though is that they feel they'll put a bunch of celebrities and stuff and have celebrity filled events to promote the Democrat Party, and those celebrities ironically say nothing about the problems of the community. They only put on these big concerts and stuff like that, and never to say a word about single mother rate, never say a word about the abortion epidemic going on in the black community, never say a word about the black on black violence going on within the black community, never say a word about any of it. Just sing and dance. Just sing and dance, and then we're all going to start voting. And they're right. That happens. They do that, rock the vote. Yeah, they do that because they know that we love entertainment.
It's a distraction.
It is. We're easily distracted.
And he was absolutely right.
Yeah,
That was right. What do you have to lose? The only thing Democrats have given black people is the right to complain.
Yeah, that's
out
it.
loud.
That's it.
And I'm not telling you to. And the thing is, like, I'm not saying Republicans are all perfect.
No,
what I'm saying
not.
is it's the mind of black people.
Yeah,
is what I'm talking
that's
about.
The problem.
The idea that we cannot think outside the box.
Yeah.
We are stuck in our own little sad bubble, and we think like any advice given to us that's racist.
It's racist
because someone gives you advice.
The fact that we blindly just go into this, it's really weird that this weird love affair that black people have with the Democratic Party. It's very strange to me.
And I'm more concerned, right? I'm more concerned by the way that people think about more beyond Trump. Trump can only give us 4 years.
That's it.
Even if he wins, he can only give us 4 years. Then what? We'll be in the same mess in 4 years. We need a change of heart in this country. The problem isn't the presidents. We the people. We put these people in office. The problem is the people are weak.
Yeah.
We've become emotionally weak in this country. We've become dependent, childish, immature. And what's happening is our government is reflecting that to us. And Trump can get elected, but he only gets 4 years. And then what? We're faced with these Democrats again, or an idiot Republican. You don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if we don't change as a whole, and we don't realize what's going on with our society, the way we're running people. I mean, it's as bad as people going to prison and then people going to store with pajamas on. We've become a gross, very lazy, complaining country. And we are a first world country. Right. So we look like a bunch of babies who are spoiled and just want the world handed to us without actually working. And how they've been able to get us to think that way is to make us feel like we're all victims. Women are victims. Gay people are victims. Black people are victims. People of color, all the immigrants running through, you're all victims. And if they can get you in that psychology, then you have someone to blame.
Right.
And if you have someone to blame, you aren't really looking at the problem.
Right.
And that's what this guy just did with Donald Trump. He sent us a video that was not racist at all.
So the second part of his video, he said this part is racist. This is another clip of Trump. I don't know what this was. I think this is more recent.
Today I want to talk about how to grow the African American middle class and to provide a new deal for Black America. That deal is grounded in 3 promises: safe communities, great education, and high-paying jobs. My vision rests on a principle that has defined this campaign right from the beginning, and you've seen where we've come from and where we are right now. It's called America First. Every African American citizen in this country is entitled to a government that puts their jobs, wages, and security first. One of the greatest betrayals has been the issue of immigration. Illegal immigration violates the civil rights of African Americans. That's what's been happening. No group has been more economically harmed by decades of illegal immigration than low-income African American workers. I will also propose tax holidays for inner-city investment, a new tax incentive to get foreign companies to relocate in blighted American neighborhoods, and they will do that. It will be worthwhile. It's called incentive. They will do it. I am very humbled, beyond words, to be the nominee of the party of Abraham Lincoln. A lot of people don't know that. It's the party of Abraham Lincoln. And it is my highest and greatest hope that the Republican Party can be the home in the future and forevermore for African Americans and the African American vote, because I will produce and I will get others to produce, and we know for a fact it doesn't work with the Democrats, and it certainly isn't going to work with Hillary.
Well, you're right about that.
Okay, but
I don't understand what you mean.
Lawrence,
he's trying to appeal to the black community, and you don't like it because
why?
I don't understand.
That the politicians have been doing this in some form for the beginning of time.
You sound racist.
I again don't hear the racist part. He's talking about, what's the guy's name? Lawrence, the guy who wrote this. Lawrence, I don't get what you're talking about. He's he's only stating facts, and not even that, he's talking about how to improve conditions within the community. Isn't that what y'all wanted? That you wanted to have that type of representation. Okay, got it. Right? And then you also wanted things to change within the community. And what the argument was from many black people was that the politicians are not speaking enough to black people and enough about black issues and within policy and things. So now we have a man who's specifically talking to black people and saying this is what I can do, and not just pandering. He's just talking about just the policies, and then you don't like it. But we have Hillary Clinton, and others, her specifically, talking about she has hot sauce in her bag, and we think that's funny, and we're clapping at that. What? He's talking about policy and helping black people. She's pandering and talking about hot sauce in her bag.
Bill Clinton plays the saxophone on Arsenio Hall, and he's considered the first black president.
Yeah, how's that? I mean, come on,
I don't
guys.
understand. And by the way, the only thing I can say against Trump here is that thank you for wanting to help the black community, but the black community really does have to help themselves. Yeah. There's no need of putting businesses in broken down neighborhoods where the people in the neighborhood won't allow it to flourish.
Yes, right.
That's the reason why these businesses left in the first place.
Walmart's leaving places.
Because the people in the neighborhood don't know how to act. Nobody wants to invest in a neighborhood when it's riddled with crime and people are off their rocker. Sorry, they're not going to do that.
There's targets leaving those neighborhoods because a lot of the people within that community are doing these smash and grab situations where they're just, and then we don't have law and order anymore, really. So they're just allowing this to happen. You know what I mean?
So he's telling you about your come up, but you want to hear about you want a president, and this is what the Democratic Party, this is why they're successful, black people, is because you want someone to talk about all of your problems in a way that you're a victim. Yeah. You want to hear him say they've been suppressed, they've been hurt, slavery, Jim Crow. You want to hear that. That's what the Democratic Party gives you.
You want the victimhood stuff.
He's telling you about the come up. And you don't know, and because you're faced with a solution and not just always wallowing in your problems, you call him racist for that.
Right. He's trying to...
He's not the problem.
You are. You're the problem.
And as a black woman, it makes me sad that a black man can't see that.
Like, wake up.
This is why the black community is down. Look, I know there are a lot of good black men out there, but this is the average black man. This is how the average black man thinks.
You gotta stop.
This is why we have so many single mothers out here. Black women cannot respect a man who lives in his victimhood all the time. And this is why so many black women think they're men. Black homes are being led by women. And a lot of little black boys are being raised by women, and they're growing up emotional.
This is an emotional, what this guy wrote us. This is not, you guys, this is one person I'm talking about. We get a lot, more than enough. We get a lot of black men that talk like this, and that's concerning. That is concerning.
And I was just watching Blanchard. Remember we did the video on Blanchard? Blanchard yesterday said that the greatest, he said whenever he talks about, if you ever watch his lives, they're really great. But he says, whenever I talk about the truth, the number one person that comes after me are black men.
Yes,
not black women, black men. Why? Because when you start talking about responsibility to black men, they get mad at you.
It's true.
And when you start talking about the truth of what's happening in the black community, like everybody already knows, but when you mention it, the number one people we get is black men. They get mad.
Yeah, our biggest complaints are
Daniel said that to me was black men.
Yeah.
And then I watched Blanche the other day on his live, and he said that same thing. My number one criticism is from black men.
Well, that's what Officer Tatum, same situation. Candace Owens, same situation. It's a lot of black men.
But it's reflected in the numbers in our community. Yeah. The fact that we don't have a lot of marriage, the fact that we don't have a lot of fathers in the home, we have a lot of men in prison, we have a lot of men dead, we have a lot of a lot of men just gone, absent from homes. And so this whole sort of feeling of victimhood, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to grow up a little bit. Trump is trying to help you, and you couldn't see that. That means that you are too emotional, and you are not thinking like a man. You're thinking like a child. I'm going to have to say this. It's going to hurt. But Blanche is right. The problem with the black man is that the black man has an excuse, and the reason why white men succeed is because they don't.
Yeah.
White men are put at a higher standard. They can never make mistakes. If they say one thing wrong, they're called racist.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to be damn near perfect. But because they're put on that high standard, they succeed. They don't have any excuses not to succeed. Black men are given an excuse because of slavery and Jim Crow. And so because of that, we stay in a small little bubble. Blanche is absolutely right on that. I can't say anything else but that. And because of that, black women are out of control. They're raising homes by themselves. They actually think they can do it too. They're self-righteous, and I'm a queen, and I'm a boss, and
we're not
and all
queens.
Of this. We're not. And him, a queen. I'm not a queen, and you are not a king. I'm a woman, and you are a man.
Yeah, that's it.
Why is that not okay?
The idea that you would send us 2 clips that weren't racist at all just shows the brainwashing.
Remember though, Yuri said that. Yuri Benikov, the KGB agent, said that he said you will not. But he said they get you to a point where even if I give you the truth in a video,
right? And
that I can't believe we just got one.
Yeah,
get you the truth in the video, you will not believe it. It's not until the military boot is crushing your balls that you realize you've made a grave mistake. Get out of your feelings, sir.
We're women, and in this circumstance, we don't inject our feelings into politics. This is not where feelings come along.
We had some guy write us and say, you should be, Matt Walsh is racist because he said that because there needs to be more white babies.
Yeah.
He's white.
Yeah, he said that. I was like, what?
So it's okay for us to say we need black babies.
Yeah.
We abort babies by the thousands.
Yeah.
But a white man who wants to preserve his race is racist because he wants to preserve his race.
Yeah. The funny thing is when that guy wrote that, I said to him, I said, no, you said this as if it's some kind of flex. It really wasn't. I said, look, Matt Walsh is white. He's right to be concerned with his race and how his race, or there's the birth rates are low in the white community. He's white. Hey, you know what? Eyes on your own paper. What you should be concerned about, black person, is the fact that black people also are having a low. We're still stagnant at 13%. But you're worried about that white man, worried about the white people. You need to be worried about the reason why we're at 13%. That's what you need to be worried about. But no. No one wants to put their eyes on their own paper. We always want to deflect to no, we're not going to deflect. We're talking about the issues that are happening.
It hurts.
I'm sorry you don't like to hear it.
I mean,
sorry you don't like to hear it.
I know you don't like to hear the truth. I mean,
yeah.
And listen, this man right now is being persecuted for running for president. That's it.
And no one has a problem with it. You don't have any problem with that?
He has more guts.
Yeah.
Then I have to say, a lot of these black men that are crying about a man trying to help you. If white people don't help you, then you're saying it's white flight. Nobody cares about it. Then when white people help you, it's racist. You find that racist too?
Yeah. It's right. They don't really mean it.
But you know what? The black vote is going up for Trump. Now he's got more black people.
Yeah.
He had more black people voting for him after when he lost.
Yeah.
It went up. Now it's even more.
Look.
Hopefully people are starting to wake up a little bit.
But you made such a good point though before that Donald Trump, in my opinion, he'll become president. But if he does become president, it will only be for 4 years. I'm looking beyond Trump. So people are like, oh my God, black people are just voting. I'm talking about those black people too.
I'm beyond
those
Trump.
black people that are over here voting Republican just because Trump is the one. I'm saying to you as well, no, you gotta look beyond that, because after he's gone, we still gotta keep that up.
Which led me to the point of the country needs to have a change of heart. These politicians will come and go. They're not going to be there all the time.
Trump's going to be over.
But if Trump doesn't win, our Supreme Court we're going to have a problem with that.
Oh boy, that's going to be something.
But because we can't deal with another 4 years, But my point in saying is that we need a change of heart. We have lost our way, and our thinking clearly. This guy's videos, our thinking is off.
Right. Yes.
See, when someone says to you, so like when Kevin Samuels was talking about black women, some things did hurt. I'll admit it. Well, but it was the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth.
And he was right about a lot of what he said, almost everything really. I can't deny that. Even Andrew Tate, I don't agree with everything that he says, but he says some right things. You know what I mean? But when Kevin Samuels was talking about black women lost their mind. But the truth is, he was right about a lot of things, and it changes things when people stop catering to your feelings and start giving you the truth. It may not feel good, and you may hate them for saying it, but if you really take it in, which is what I think a lot of people do. There are a lot of, like when you get mad at us for what we say. Yeah. I do think your pride
kind of plays a part
in it. Yeah. But you have to admit, if you do some light research, you're going to see that what we're saying is not wrong.
It's not false.
But then how do you fix it? Do you fix it by keep calling women queens?
Oh,
or do you do like Trump just did and say, hey, you know what? This sucks, and this sucks. You guys could be doing better. They're not helping you.
Yeah.
You guys have been voting for them for a long time. So what do you have to lose? He's right. What do you have to lose? Our statistics aren't good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for a different way of thinking.
There are some things where you can't just talk delicately about certain subjects, right? And I believe this is one of them. When we have our stats looking the way they do, those numbers are so high, this is not the time to talk delicately about these subjects. It's time to be kind of raw about that. Okay, this is not good. Our stats are not looking good. And if anyone says, oh, well, how come you never talk about the white people? Because I am not white. Are you kidding me? But I'm not going to talk delicately about these subjects. I'm not. I think that's just aiding into the problem. I think we need to stop calling everyone kings and queens. Let's stop doing that. We need to stop doing that. That's feeding our egos. That with our stats, I don't see kings and queens. So I'm just saying we need to get down to basics here.
I mean, a lot of people think that we're just too far gone. I was watching some podcasts the other day with these black people, and they were like, I think black people we're to a point where this is just the way we think, and we're kind of a lost cause.
We're lost.
I don't want to believe that. I'd like to believe that we aren't, but that we think we've been brainwashed to a point where we just are locked in that. It makes us feel good, and we are lost in our feelings. We like feel good things, like we like to talk about the worst things, because as long as we talk about that, it gives an excuse for why we're not successful. And I just don't like talking about that. But
but looking at it as a whole, optically, it looks bad. It's pretty bad. We're pretty far gone.
Every time I think we've opened up a little bit, I see so many of us just still in this perpetual state of ignorance. And it's just like, wake up, it's time to wake up.
Regardless of, I disagree with you, Lauren. Sorry, we totally disagree with you. We appreciate you writing us. We appreciate you writing us and everything and sending the clips, but we just disagree with you.
But it's disturbing that that's what you call racist.
Yeah, and also
I can't believe that.
What you're saying is just factually wrong. What he said wasn't racist. I think you need to review your own clip that you send us without the emotion part, which men should really normally be good at. This was trippy to me. But anyways, and as for Trump, this was not a case about Stormy Daniels and a hush money. This is not about Michael Cohen and how he, is former lawyer. That was not what this case was about. That's just my feelings on the whole thing. But it is what it is. He was convicted, and I'm not sure that's gonna work. And that's it, you guys. Let us know what you think about all of this, everything that we were just talking about. What do you think about Donald Trump's the conviction? How do you feel about it? Do you think it was politically motivated? And let us know. Leave some comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And that's it. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye.